What in the hell is that?
They're so cool. They adapted that way so that they like similarly to giraffes so that they could like reach higher leaves.
Welcome to Had to Ask, the show where the people you love to watch open up about the parts of their story you don't usually hear. I'm Melanie Sutrathada, and today I'm joined by Maria Wirries, a performer audiences have fallen in love with for her warmth, humor, and the kind of voice that makes you want to lean in immediately. You may know her from Dear Evan Hansen, both on Broadway and on the First National Tour, as well as Old Friends. Now she's starring as Star in The Lost Boys on Broadway, stepping into a role with a serious cult following and bringing her own heart to it. Today, we talk about building a Broadway career and the power of community, whether she'd want to live forever, and naturally, her favorite bug. Let's get into it.
Incredible, talented. We've seen you on so many different stages, which has been such a journey. I feel like we've been on a journey with you. I mean, 3 Broadway shows now in the span of 5 years, 6
Something
years?
like that.
Crazy pants.
Kind of nuts.
Kind of nuts. And I just don't understand, but I'm also so impressed. That being said, the internet is also very impressed. We've got a few comments.
Oh my god!
That I think are just so funny.
I'm ready.
You are a star in every sense of the word.
Very
It's
sweet.
true. This one also sweet. You could bite me any day.
Whoa.
I went, hello?
Okay.
Hello? You need to chill.
Very
also.
exciting. I don't know. That sounds, love. Love.
True. I'm like, all right, I'm into it. Okay. We are so lucky to have you on Broadway in this role. Sweet, sweet, precious.
Yes.
This one
That's
I like
cool.
especially. I am feral for any piece of this show and Maria I can get.
Feral is a great word.
I don't think we use that word as frequently as we should.
I don't think so, but I've been hearing people saying like feral fall. Like they'll be like hot girl summer, but then it's feral fall.
I think I
really
prefer
like that.
feral fall.
Yeah. I'm really big on that.
I agree. Okay, so this one is one of my personal favorites. She is so alarmingly beautiful that I can totally see how you could end up redacted for spoilers. Honestly, I would. I'm like, she's gorgeous and she's nice and funny and like, look at her hair and okay, forever. Okay.
Okay, let's do it. Now forever. Let's do it.
I think there are some people I would become a vampire for, and you might be one of them. And The Rock might be another.
The Rock is the best thing you've ever said. I love The Rock. As a kid, I would like literally sit in the mirror and practice doing the thing, you know? I like loved him and I wanted to be him. Like, I think he's amazing.
I 100% agree, with the exception of him in the wig from Moana, the live action. What is that? Dwayne?
Not everybody can be David Brown of the Lost Boys hair design. You know, those wigs they're on point.
I mean, your wig in that show.
I love it. I feel so lucky. It's like the details are, I mean, even things that are like down to there being like a piece of turquoise, like tucked inside of the wig, which is like wards off vampires because Star isn't 100% committed to it yet. And there's just these, I mean, little tiny details that tell a story even for us as the actors, which is awesome.
Okay, so before we dive into all the other fun stuff, we have a few questions we need to ask.
Okay.
Number 1, if you could live forever, would you?
Absolutely. It's very fast, but this is something I think about a lot. If I was given the chance to live forever, I would do it without question because there's so many things you could see. You know, I feel like you could read every book, see every movie. You could just like watch a tree go through its whole life cycle. Like there's so many things. I don't know. I would do it because I feel like that's one of the things I'm always worried about is time. As just me, Maria, I'm like, oh my gosh, am I going to get to everything? There's so much I want to see. And that would just like solve all of my problems. I'd pump the brakes. I'd be like, I have a few decades to just hang, you know? It'd be pretty cool.
I love it. Okay, so you would do the whole Lost Boys of it. You'd be like, I'm in.
I wouldn't even ask any questions.
Ooh.
I'd be like, I'm going into the lair. No. I'd be like, I'll figure it out.
So when people are like, oh, will you be my ride or die? You're like, okay, I'm in.
I am so notoriously a ride or die. Like, I'm that friend who's like, yes.
I would say I'm a ride or die asterisk because I'm like, why do we have to die? Like,
Sure.
Are we getting food? Are we
Sure.
hungry? Like, are there any other options? If there are no other options, maybe. But also, do I like you? Could we watch? Like, would we be good people in prison together? I don't think so.
That's a good point.
There are a few people I would ride or die for. And I think they would maybe be The Rock and Michael B. Jordan.
Ooh.
Hello.
Okay. Great choices.
I think I'm not looking for a ride or die. I'm just looking for a really hot ass boyfriend.
And maybe that's both.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Manifesting this for you.
Okay, so on that note, I know you're a big manifester.
I am.
What is something that you manifested that actually came to life?
Oh man, I wrote in one of my journals before Old Friends. I was like, I really just want the opportunity to like be back on Broadway, to be doing the thing that I love in this capacity. And so I was manifesting a lot about it. And what's really funny about Old Friends is I went through the entire audition process. This is me not reading emails. I'm really sorry to my agents. I went through the entire process thinking it was some sort of like off-Broadway concert experience.
Maria.
I know.
Girl.
I know. And I literally booked it in the room. And I went and I called my mom and was like, Mom, I booked this show that I was telling you about. Called my boyfriend at the time. And I was like, oh my God, I booked this thing. And he's like, you're going to be on Broadway. And my baby's on Broadway. And I was like, wait, I'm going to be on Broadway? I completely somehow like missed that. And that's insane. So that's again I'm now reading every single word to be sure I know what's going on. But maybe it took the pressure off,
Yeah, I 100% feel that. I think as an actor, there are certain projects that you audition for where you're like, this could change my life.
Yeah.
Could absolutely change my life. There were projects that I auditioned for this year where like one show is like The Pit. And so many people are now on Broadway because of the work they've done in The Pit. And obviously the work behind the scenes has been, it takes many years for an overnight success to happen.
Of course.
But I think about those things where I've auditioned for like The Pit, Scrubs, basically every medical drama. I don't know why. I don't know. I mean, but also I'm not like a medical drama person, as in like if you actually need someone to help you, I'm not going to be there. But if you need someone to like make out with someone hot in the on-call room, I volunteer as tribute.
Okay.
It's good to know who you are. And
It is.
me.
It is.
But there are so many projects that you audition for that you go in knowing like this could change everything.
Yeah.
And I think when you go in with that energy, I do think that it changes the way you approach it. When you're like, oh, I'm going to do my best work because I always want to do my best work, then great. Amazing.
Right. Yeah. So I think that's kind of what happened. I was just going in. I was like, this is a really cool project with people I admire a lot. And that would be awesome. But I just didn't quite understand the scope at the time. So but I do now.
As you've had your opening night and done all the things.
Yeah.
Insane and incredible and wonderful. I want to know, when you did realize it was indeed the great Broadway, what was your reaction then?
I think I was in the middle of the street. For some reason, this always happens where like you find out and then you just are thrust into Midtown, which is so scary. And you're just kind of like, oh my God, I'm going to do this amazing thing. And there's 1,000 people like running into me because they're like in Times Square. So I think I was a little in shock. I walked essentially all the way home from Midtown. I live on the Upper West Side, like probably 40, 50 blocks. Like I just was like walking because I was like, I can't believe this is real. I was like calling everybody. And I had to call my mom back and be like, it actually is for Broadway. Sorry, messed that up. It was an amazing moment. And the same kind of thing happened for Lost Boys. I found out I was like in Midtown. I can like point to the random closed storefront that I sat at being like, I can't believe this is my life right now. Yeah, I definitely felt just so excited to like go on that journey. I loved Sondheim. Since I mean, everyone loves Sondheim, but I feel like his music had been such a part of my life as I was growing up and learning about musical theater. And it was actually the first musical I ever saw was Company when I was a kid, which definitely kind of went over my head at the time, but I knew that the music was amazing. So yeah, I just was like, oh my gosh. And getting to work with Bernadette Peters and Leia Salonga. And I mean, you could literally every single name in that cast was unbelievable. So it was a dream come true. 100%.
Favorite Sondheim song? Mine is Being Alive.
Ooh.
I hear that and I'm just like, oh.
Being Alive is amazing. I think what really, I've always loved, but then grew on me in a different way was probably Sunday from Sunday in the Park with George. Like that closed out our first act. And every night, first of all, just getting to see Bernadette do that again was, there's little, especially as a musical theater nerd, like that fulfills something that much. But yeah, that or probably Send in the Clowns, getting to see her do that as well. Beautiful, beautiful songs, just like with so much detail and craft. And as a writer myself, I just went through the BMI Writing Program. And
how are you feeling?
I mean, amazing. It's like that the class of people that I got to meet while I was there have just completely changed my life. They're some of my closest friends now. And they're all such unique writers. And I can't wait to see the way that they shape the future of our industry. Because it's like, it's the writers who are creating these worlds along with the creative team. So, but yeah, I think going through the BMI program at the same time as doing Old Friends.
Oh my goodness.
It was this wild thing where I was like studying lyrics and what makes, musicals amazing, and being able to also be studying these scores and these lyrics of Sondheim so intimately. It was just a beautiful balance. And I feel like it made me grow so much as a writer to be like, what? I mean, like he is at the top of his game all the time. And it was a really cool combination of things to be doing.
Oh my goodness. I feel like there are just so many things that you're working on at any given point. And I think they all kind of feed into each other. I think that's part of being an artist.
Yeah, I think that's really important. People get scared of the multi-hyphenate sometimes because it's like, oh, well, you're like doing so many things, or it can be hard to get 100% accepted by every single group that you're in because they're like, oh, well, you're an actor, so you're not really a writer, or you're this, and you're not really a musician, or all these different things. But I really do think you can be excellent in a lot of things if it's something you're passionate about. And also that you should be allowed to just try things, and you don't have to be excellent. Like you can absolutely just like pick up a craft or a thing and see if it's something that fulfills you and doesn't have to be your job. I know we all get really into like, oh, maybe I can, make this another career, another hustle. And it's like, well, sometimes things are just fun, Like I like plants a lot. I like being outside. Sometimes I kill them. I'm not the best plant mom.
Good to know.
But I do love a plant. So it can be just for fun.
I love the idea of that, especially because I think as artists, I feel like everything needs to become a special skill. I don't think everything needs to become a special skill. There are certain things that I've done in my life that have actually led to me booking work. Like I played soccer my whole life. And so I actually booked like.
That's so hard. Soccer is so hard.
Girl, it is so hard, but it's also so fun. And it taught me about community and being part of a team, and that every single person is needed. And I think that's what gives me a lot of respect for crews and everybody who makes everything happen. That being said, there are things that I like to do now that I refuse to turn into a special skill. I'm like, these are just things I like, and no one needs to know about it. And I don't need to try to monetize it. And I don't need to make an Etsy store. Yes. Although if I did have certain talents that would be good on Etsy, I feel like I would make an Etsy store, but I don't have any of those right now.
Okay. If you could think of one, what would it be? I know I'm not the interviewer, but I'm curious.
No, I love it. I love it so much. Okay. So I think if I could make an Etsy store, I would, what am I actually really interested in? That's weird. Okay, so I love butterflies, and I would like to make little butterfly, like, this is so specific, girl.
I love it.
So, what's it called? Wind chimes?
Yes.
I want to make pretty little ones with like 1,000,000 butterflies. So when the wind comes, they just like all flow.
You have your first customer.
It's so specific.
That.
And I went,
but it's
why
beautiful.
do I want that? It's very specific.
Yeah, but I don't feel like I've ever seen ones where they're like the little pieces underneath are butterflies.
Yeah.
Usually they turn into some sort of like tube or like glass thing, but that would be really pretty.
It would be really pretty and fun, but also I think that would take a lot of time and effort.
It could.
And I just want to look at stuff.
Sure. So you could commission something.
I could. You could commission something from me.
And maybe I will. And maybe I just will.
Okay, so that being said, on a certain person's resume, I may or may not have seen pig calling.
See, this came up yesterday too. I don't want to take it off because I did actually book a role because of this. And everyone in my school was like, do not put this on your resume.
No, absolutely. Put it on your resume.
Every person in my class, I love them all. We're all still pals. They were like, do not put this on your resume, Maria. This is crazy. But I'm from this like crazy backwoods swamp area of Florida. And I won a blue ribbon and the apple pie at this place called the Beast Feast that happens every year. And at the Beast Feast, they had a pig calling contest. And I didn't know what that was. I think I was maybe like 10 years old. And my aunt was like, I'm going to teach you about this really quickly because I think you'd be good at it. You're really loud. And so it was me and all of these actual pig farmers. And they had a pig at the end of this gate, like far away. And the first person who could get the pig to come over would win the thing. And I was the only one that got the pig to come out of all these pig farmers. So I was like, wow, I must be great at this. So I put it on my resume. And then I was approached by the head of my program after graduation, John Simpkins of Penn State. And he was like, so these people came to me and they were like, do you know a Black soprano who can pig call? And I said, wait, what?
The Venn diagram.
Why would that ever be a thing? And it was for this project called Penelope, or How the Odyssey Was Really Written, at the York Theater. And they needed a girl to sing soprano and to like butcher pigs and call them. And it was a really wild role. I was like covered in mud and blood and crazy stuff the whole time, like wielding a giant knife. It was one of the most fun shows I ever done. I think it was like the first show where I really felt ownership over something because it was the first time I had done something that had never been before. And we just really got to play and have fun. But never in my life did I think that that would be something that in New York City I would be doing. But I got to keep it, I guess.
I hesitate to ask for you to give us your pig call. I don't know what this actually sounds like.
Sure. I'll do it away from the microphone just
Okay.
because it is a little startling. So it goes a little bit like this. It's like, yeah. And that's that.
That's not on that.
And then the pigs come. I don't know why. I guess it sounds kind of like them, but that's what they respond to.
Maria, I have fallen in love with you as a human.
I'm so
What
honored.
just happened? Our love for The Rock and then that?
And then that. It really unites. Honestly, that's what brings us together.
If you hadn't just gotten engaged, I would propose right now. I mean, what? Hello?
Thank you. Wow.
What a gift.
Thanks. I appreciate that. I love animal calls. There's a lot of them in the world. So, yeah. Well, no, thank you. I'm honored.
So if you were not a performer, what would you want to be doing? And is it something to do with calling animals?
You know, I guess it's in the natural world. I considered switching to plant pathology as my major when I was in college because I took this class called Plant Stress. It Isn't Easy Being Green.
Oh.
And basically I just like loved the professor. His name was Tim. He was like he was so passionate talking about tomatoes in our first class that I was like, anyone who is that passionate about anything, I am immediately like, I'm hooked. I'm a ride or die. I'm like, absolutely. You love these tomatoes. I love these tomatoes. And anyway, we just like started talking about things and I was obsessed with this class. So I begged them to let me take the only other course he was teaching the next semester, which was this like master's and doctorate level research study on a specific kind of like apple and pear blight that they're trying to find a cure for that affects like honestly a lot of crops in the United States and has for a very long time. So I was a part of this research study, basically doing a lot of like chopping up apples and like inoculating them with viruses and like taking notes about what happened. But I loved being in the lab. I was like, this is so fun. I love being in a lab coat and like wearing the glasses and walking around and doing the thing. It was total vibes. But what I thought was really fun about being in there was that as an artist, I thought that I brought a really different perspective to things. They would be kind of asking questions and I'd be like, what if you did this? And they'd be like, I didn't think about it that way, but we could try it. And I was like, maybe I'm good at this.
Yes!
And so they actually had mentioned to me, they were like, if you wanted to consider doing this, I think you might be good at it. But problem is I suck at math. I'm really bad at math. So the whole science thing is more of a theoretical conversation than it is like actual practice. But it would be really cool. I would love to do something in the like plant animal sciences. I love bugs a lot.
I did hear that you used to be the weird girl in the playground talking to bugs.
That was me.
That was you.
That was me. I found them fascinating, much more so than my classmates. So that was kind of me for a long time until someone actually like caught my attention, I guess.
Favorite bug?
Favorite bug? Probably the giraffe weevil.
What
Look
in
it
the
up.
Sam hell is the giraffe
I think
weevil?
my favorite part about the giraffe weevil, they have this really long neck.
Oh no.
And they are a beetle.
I
And so
hate
they
everything
can fly.
happening right now. Why do they need to fly?
I don't think they should, because when they do, it's kind of like really uneven because of their really long neck. But they're super cool looking. So I also do like butterflies.
What in the hell is that?
They're so cool. They adapted that way so that they like similarly to giraffes so that they could like reach higher leaves.
I don't know how I feel about that.
Butterflies are also great.
Butterflies are great. What is that?
A beetle,
A giraffe weevil?
which is a part of the coleopteras. And then the butterflies are Lepidoptera. And I know this because I really wanted to.
Cool.
I wanted to volunteer at the Natural History Museum because they have that butterfly exhibit. And I put in an application and I didn't hear back. So
I guess you'll just have to do Broadway. That's fine.
I guess.
It's a little disappointing.
A bit.
I've never heard those words you used before. And I love nature documentaries. I spend a lot of time watching documentaries. And a lot of my algorithm is unlikely animal friendships.
Oh,
It's pure.
that's
very
really
pure.
sweet.
It's good for my soul. But I had never seen a giraffe weevil. And now I hope I never see one again because that
no.
was horrifying. And I don't think that needs to exist respectfully.
Okay, that's all right. We can all believe what we need to sleep at night. You know?
Yeah, I will not be thinking of that. Ready, willing, and able, but what do you bring to the table has been on your yearly collage for 2 years. Tell me more about that.
It has. I think I tend to be someone who's like always pouring out my cup, which I really like to be. And sometimes I don't focus as much about like what actually fills my cup and the people who fill my cup. And I've been really specific about the people that I keep close to me in recent years, and just leaning on the folks in my life who do fill my cup up and who are always there for me. And so, yeah, I think it was just like prioritizing my peace in some sort of a way, and reminding myself that I am always there and showing up and like looking for the people who really show up for me. Yeah, I think that's kind of where that came from. And not even just like in a personal life, but also in a career world. Like, I feel like sometimes we try to like put ourselves into a box because we're trying to think ahead about what the person might want you to be to book the job. But I've been finding more and more that the more I bring of myself and the more honest I am, the more like, actually, I just don't think that project's for me. The more other projects that are exactly on like almost on the nose just appear with people that I really want to be around. And so I've been really trying to live by that. And in the moments where I get nervous, and as I'm sure we all do as performers, we're like, oh my gosh, like, is something going to happen? Just not falling into the trap of like, okay, I'm going to just like squeeze into this thing that feels weird and wrong. And just really focusing on what it is I want to be working on and if it's not coming to me, then trying to make it, you know?
Yeah, I love that so much. I think being an artist for a long time, I was like, how do I get someone to book me? And then I went, that doesn't feel good because sometimes you don't want to book it. And then when you don't, you're still like, I'm so heartbroken when I don't book the role where I have to pretend to be a dolphin for a commercial. What?
Right.
For what purpose?
Yeah.
There was one audition that I turned down that required me to run around with a chainsaw and wear a Halloween mask. And that came in and I went, respectfully, this is not for me.
Yeah.
This is not for me. And I was like, thank you so much, agents. I'm going to respectfully decline because this is not a good fit. But it takes a lot to be able to say that this is not for me. Because
Yes.
I think when you continue to say yes to opportunities that you know aren't a good fit and will not make you feel good about yourself and will take time away from things that will bring you so much joy, I think when all those things happen, you lose like little bits of yourself. And I think right now, especially in the state of the world, we need to be as clear and concise about who we are and what we want to do and the kind of art we want to put into the world as possible.
Much agreed. Yes. I think you're totally right. Whatever, like following your moral compass and like what you want to say, and even like using your platforms for things that are important. I think sometimes people can say, oh, well, like avoid these things or don't talk about this because you don't know who it might offend or who might not agree or whatever. And I just think it's so important to be honest, because I honestly don't want to work with people that I just like completely and utterly disagree with on every form. I think it should be important to be able to have conversations with people who I don't agree with, but also like I don't want to be in spaces with people that I think are not positive contributors to our community, to our global community. So yeah, I think it is really important to try to be authentic, but I also know that it's hard. I know that it's scary to turn down jobs. It's hard to turn away from things when things feel scarce. But I think that we have the obligation to like be true to ourselves, if anything, hopefully true to so many other things and speaking up and standing up for different people, but also being true to ourselves, if that's the only thing we can do. So I agree.
I think it makes all the difference. We only have this one life that we know of. I mean, I could come back as a cat or something tomorrow. I don't know.
Wouldn't that be kind of cool?
It would be cool. I would if they were like, hey, would you like to come back as a giraffe weevil? I'd be like, respectfully, no.
Oh,
we'll
man.
save that for my girl Maria. I don't want to be a part of that. No,
sure.
Thank you.
Sure.
Or if I want to come back, I would come back as a dolphin though.
Really?
Yeah, I love dolphins. They're such a vibe.
They are a vibe. They kind of scare me, but like in a respect, like I respect them. I would never mess with a dolphin.
Yeah, I think I have a very healthy respect and fear of the ocean. I love the ocean.
Yeah.
I love the ocean. I will be in the ocean all day long. But why are there things in there the size of houses?
Yeah. It's a little too much to think about sometimes. Like those videos that come up where it's just like something giant coming out of the deep. I'm like, I didn't know I had that fear, but now I do.
There was one thing that apparently only lives at the very bottom of the ocean. And because of the state of the world, it like floated up. But it's huge. It's like literally 20 feet long.
What?
And it was floating upside down. And I went, maybe I don't need to go into the ocean ever again.
No. Yeah, see that. And the fact that there's so much of it we haven't explored.
I don't like it.
Every time people say that, I'm like, I shudder. I'm like, I don't know what else could be there. And maybe I don't need to.
I don't need to. That being said, what scares you right now? It could be real things, or it could be dolphins.
Ooh, what scares me? Oh, that's a good question. We've been talking a lot about fear with the Lost Boys. Michael was just saying last night, this is a show that is like about fear, but in some ways, fear is like the opposite of love. And so we're hoping that people come to the theater with their fears and leave with loves. But I think like, oh, wow. Just general life is kind of scary. It's like, I feel like there's a lot of things going on. I lately have felt kind of like, whoa, with just life. And yeah, like growing up and dealing with all of these things. I don't know, adulting is scary.
I don't like it. I miss the days of like someone giving you a snack and then you go take a nap and you don't pay rent.
Yeah.
I don't like it. You don't even have to buy your own clothes. You're just like, okay, this is what I'm wearing.
This is what I'm saying.
How do we fix this?
I don't know. I guess that's such a good question though. Like, what am I afraid of? Wow. I don't know if I am afraid of anything right at this moment, which is a nice feeling.
That's a beautiful thing.
Yeah.
I think one thing that I've been afraid of recently is that maybe my time has passed.
Oh.
If that's weird. I know that I I feel weird even saying that, but I think it's true of like, I think being a woman in entertainment, I auditioned for so many things and there are so many people who made it when they were like 17 or 18.
Sure.
And, you think of like the Harry Potters of the world, which I was such a huge fan of. And I remember thinking like, even at that age, I was like, oh, could I audition to be Cho Chang? Or like, all those things. And I think as you get older in the industry, so much for women is like based on what you look like. And you wonder, okay, well, has my time passed on these things? And is it time to explore something else? Or, I am such a firm believer of like, you go where like the heart goes, but you also have to go where you can afford to build a life.
For some reason, this is making me think of when I watched The Substance, when you were speaking about this sort of idea of like aging out in this field. That movie made me so sad. My reaction to that movie was sobbing. I think a lot of people, like, for some people said it was a comedy before I saw it. And some people were like, oh yeah, it was really like gory and scary. And I was like, yes, it was gory and scary, but there was also something inside of it that just like crushed my spirit. I think it was specifically like when she goes on the date with that guy and she can't do it. Like she freaks out because she's like, I can't even go because I don't look good enough. And I messed myself up. So, and it's just, I think this industry can be really isolating because we are like busy all the time. There's so many things changing. I've been talking to a lot of people about like partnerships in this industry and like being away from one another because like I'm also like I'm engaged to an actor. And so sometimes we travel and there's different things going on. And so you can feel really isolated. And especially when it comes to like being in different age categories. Like I have a 15-year-old in my show and like we're in very different times in our lives. And but yeah, I think there is this pressure that people put upon specifically women in this industry about like aging. And I think I have been so lucky that I was raised by old people. Sorry, Mom. She was bless your mom. Bless my mom. Yes. She was 62 when she got me. And so her life started over again with a 4-month-old baby. And
bless her.
She just kind of was like, okay, she's 90 this year. And I mean, like she is out there kicking ass and taking names. Like,
love it.
This woman has like reinvented herself over and over and over again. And I've like watched it happen. And I've watched the rest of my family who is also around her age do the same thing and like become new people at like a different age or like, like go through losing a partner of a long time and then like completely like find a new thing they like or like find a new hobby or something that they're doing. And it just showed me from a really young age that like life doesn't end after like 50 or something, like I don't know why. I know why people feel that way, but like I would go to these retirement homes and I'm like, these people are having more fun than anyone I know. And I'm like, I can't wait to retire. I'm like trying to go back to Florida with all of my like retirees and like hang out on the beach. Like, I just think that there are so many different parts to life. And I also got to see people aging like naturally and just sort of like accepting it. And so there's something about it that I'm kind of like, I see that I'm starting to look more and more like, even though she's my aunt, she's, she's still Mom and we're obviously related, but like, I see myself in her more as I get older. And there's things about it that I'm like, oh my God, like, I think she's so beautiful. And like, I love that I'm looking more and more like her. I don't know, that makes me kind of emotional. I feel really grateful for that because I think so many people have been just like, we are fed all the time, like all of these quick and easy ways to like look younger, be thinner, be all of these things all the time. And it's like, just being able to look at role models who are like, well, I didn't do it and I'm still, I still think I'm great. I'm like, yeah, I want that. I just want to like get old and be like glad that I did, because so many people don't get the chance. And that, it makes me sad, like people that I've lost along the way who I'm like, oh, they didn't get a chance like to get older and I'll never know what they look like old. And like, so I try to keep that perspective, even though it's so hard in this industry and it like batters me every time I go on Instagram. Yeah, I think we're just really lucky to age. And I'm trying to keep that perspective that it's like a cool thing, you know?
I love that. I think that is absolutely the way that I want to look at it more. I think as women in this industry, you kind of oscillate. You're like, this is the youngest you'll ever be again. You know what I mean?
I do.
It's such a gift. And then you're also like, but now, I mean, Beaches is on Broadway and like these little girls are like 8 years old or something. I'm like,
it's crazy.
What am I doing?
It's
what
crazy.
am I doing? But also they're incredible. The little girl who plays Cece, I'm like,
go off. I need to get over there.
Work. So fun. I think that the idea that maybe the best times are still ahead is a beautiful thing. And I think as we get older, I mean, what a privilege it is to get older. And I love that you've been surrounded by so many people who love you and lift you up and also are doing things in a way that like you don't see on the everyday media. Like I see every time I'm on Instagram, I'm like, oh, should I be getting Botox? Should I be getting Juvenum? Should I be getting all of these things? And I'm like, what if I just let myself age like this and let it be okay? And not be afraid of it and not go, oh, well, how will this affect my work? Because I mean, I would hope that if you have trained enough and are happy with who you are and are putting in the work, then the work will come. I hope.
That's what I hope too. I do stand by that. I think that it does. And I think, I think you have to be happy in life it's always that. I feel like when I'm at my lowest or I'm stressed or I'm desperate, I'm frustrated, all of these things is like when nothing comes. And then the minute I like get my life together and I start feeling like better in myself, then I like get busy with work and it throws that out the window. But I do think it's true. There's something about like our career is our career. And my corporate girlies in my life remind me this all the time. They're like,
love the corporate
I
ones.
clock in, I clock out, girl. I don't think about that when I go home. And it's hard because our jobs are always, it's like walking down the street and we're meeting people who like might have seen the show or might have all these things, which is super amazing. But it's like our job is all of that. Whereas like they can clock in and out. But I do try to remind myself that like, I want my life to be full. I want to be able to be like, I love coming home to like the person that I get to come home to. I love where I've picked to live. I like the friends that I have. I make sure to see them and like to prioritize that. If there are important dates, I always try to block them out, like weddings and things like that. Like I really try to be there because those are the things that at the end of the day, I will think about as way more than like an audition that I got or did or whatever it is. It's like, I just think life has to be good. And then career, if it's also good, that's great. But if it isn't, then like life is good. I don't know. That's really where I've been trying to live. It's part of that, ready, willing, and able. But what are you bringing to the table? Like what else is there? What else is filling the table?
I love that so much. And I think it especially makes sense with 2 of the Broadway shows you've been in and also having been on the tour of Dear Evan Hansen because you're seeing, old friends, you're seeing the Lea Salongas and the Bernadette Peters, and you're like, these incredible women who are doing, I feel like they're doing their best work now. And like unreal. Gorgeous.
Like, I can't believe, they're just, stunning, vivacious, like full of life. Bernadette Peters can do more push-ups than I ever will be able to. Like
Bernadette Peters. Oh.
And like Lea is so like, she just knows what she wants and she walks into a room and is so gracious, but also like takes the space that she needs. And like watching that was so inspiring to me. And I think that some of that just comes with like age and knowing yourself. Like 10 years ago, I would not be the person that I am today just because you're young and nervous and trying for every single thing. And so, I think that there's like this gift of wisdom and of calm and of taking things slower and like just not taking things so seriously. That was the biggest thing I got out of that process. It was like, we're doing Sondheim and like going in, I was like, it's gotta be perfect. And it's like every single note and all this and that. And like, while we were all wanting to honor and like give as much reverence as we could to this person, it was Lea and Bernadette and Bonnie and like all of these people, Kate, Jennings Grant, like who were like, yeah, kid, but also like, enjoy this. like, let's sit and like have a chat, you know, like, let's take a breath. Are you stressed out? Go take a breath. Like, they were so like playing pranks on us. They were silly. Like, it was a funny backstage. And it was because they just like, they wanted to keep it light. And because that's how they want to live their lives. And they're like, why would I want to be stressed out? And I'm like, girl, you're right. Why am I stressed out?
So what purpose?
So I'm really trying. I don't always succeed. You know, sometimes I get like worried about the details, but I do try to like to take that and to take their wisdom and see all of that, you know?
Wait, I need to know more about these pranks. What?
Oh my gosh. It was always something. One of the big things we did during the Old Friends process was that we would make fake movies up and create posters for them, starring the cast of Old Friends. So, I mean, it would be everything from like, I mean, I can't even think of some of them right now. We came up with one called like Formaldehyde Shark. And it's like the story. Oh my God.
I just know that you came up with this name already. Respectfully.
They're gonna kill me for this. It's like the story of a scientist who like falls in love with a formaldehyde shark that comes to the museum. And she kind of like loses her mind and like thinks she's in love with this shark. But yeah, we'd figure out like who's going to voice the shark and like who's going to be this character. Then we would create the poster and then send it into the group chat and be like, congratulations, you booked. And for a while, apparently Bernadette thought that they were real. And so she kept being like, oh my God, congratulations. And we thought like she was playing into the joke. But anyway, eventually we told her that they weren't real. But yeah, like Twilight the musical starring our cast and like, you know, everybody has a part and all of these things. It was a blast. Or like we cut up a bunch of pieces of paper and like threw them all over the place on closing night because we had this like special moment that we would have with Bonnie and Jeremy Lincoln. Like it was like, it was, I don't know. They were just like these really funny, amazing moments that we all got to share together. Different little things backstage, a lot of laughing. And it was, I don't know. It was just special. It was special to see them just goof off and have fun, you know?
I love it. I mean, I think at the end of the day, we're all just big kids who just hopefully have a little more money and a little more wisdom, a little bit, not that much more. I mean, the amount of time I spent at the mall as a kid.
Hey.
I mean, I would love to go to a mall now, honestly.
Where are the, I literally said this the other day, where are the malls?
I don't know.
What happened to them?
I don't know. They went the way of Forever 21. Do you remember Limited 2?
Of course.
Went the way of
a
Limited
scarf
2.
Belt? Are you kidding? Bring them back.
Bring them back, please.
Bring them back. If we have low rise, we have to have scarf belts.
Low rise jeans, respectfully, can go all the way to hell where they belong.
That's fair. I've been trying.
Do you wear low rise jeans?
I have been trying to embrace them a little bit. It's scary. It's scary from like when we wore them before.
That's what you're afraid of.
Like that time.
Low-rise jeans.
I'm afraid of low-rise jeans, but I'm trying them. They scare me though. I just have these vivid memories of like middle school wearing polos tucked into low-rise jeans with a belt, like in Florida.
Was this the time of the double polo as well, where they were like...
Some people were doubling.
Yeah. I didn't do that.
And it was like 1,000,000 degrees.
It was so hot.
It was so warm and like everybody smelled bad because it's middle school too. So it's like, so when I see the low-rise jeans, I think of that. And I have to reframe and be like, no, Maria, they're cool. They're cool. It's what the kids are wearing.
They're fine. Stop it. So obviously, Dear Evan Hansen was a little bit of a time ago.
Yeah.
So low-rise jeans were not back.
They were not back then. We were still kind of in like skinny jean land.
Oh, skinny jeans also.
Yeah.
Uncomfortable.
I remember watching like a Disney PSA that was like skinny jeans have gotten too tight. And people were like passing out. Like it was an actual problem. And I remember like watching this. It was like, I think it was on Sunny with a Chance. And they were like, hey, these can be dangerous. Like I remember also being scared of them.
I'm learning so many things. What did you learn while on the tour and then also on Broadway for Dear Evan Hansen?
Oh man, I think that whole process was like learning how to reframe expectation.
Oof.
Because I came out of college and like I had booked it the day after my showcase, which was like unbelievable. I was like, I'm going to move to New York with like a nickel and a dime. And like, I don't know what I'm going to do with my life. But I had been auditioning for Dear Evan Hansen and there were like 7 callbacks. I was taking this bus from State College to New York in the middle of the night. It would get to New York at 6 o'clock. I'd sit in a McDonald's and like hide in the corner until my appointment and then take the bus back and do like rehearsals for a show. Like it was like a crazy period of time. And it happened 7 times I came back. And then I didn't hear anything for like a month and a half or maybe 2. And we were getting close to graduation. And I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to have to figure it out. And they called me the day after showcase and they were like, you're going on tour with Dear Evan Hansen. And then they called back and they were like, what are you doing this summer? And I was like, I don't know what. And they were like, would you like to join the Broadway company first and then go out on tour? And I was like, would I like to? That's crazy. So I think I went into that experience being like a massive overachiever, somebody who like, a perfectionist, workaholic, all of the above. And I went into that process and it's like, it's Broadway and you're in this like crazy like theater with a million stairs and you're like packed into these places. And I think, I don't know what I imagined it to be, but it was maybe not that. The people were amazing. Like I met people who are still like some of the closest people in my life. But yeah, going out on tour, you have to learn kind of like how to advocate for yourself because it's like, you're just out there. And if you need something, you got to go talk to company management. You got to go talk to somebody. Like you have to figure it out. And so I think I had to reframe this idea of being like a perfectionist people pleaser all the time. It was like, not every day is going to be perfect. Not every performance is going to be perfect. And you really have to like give yourself grace. And so through that whole process, I was constantly like learning a lot of lessons of how to sort of stick up for myself. And it was like sort of this reckoning time in 2020 when the tour ended up stopping because of COVID, but we were having a lot of conversations about like race and how we all fit into these different shows and how we were taking care of our hair and taking care of all of these things. And these just weren't conversations before. And that's something that's very important to me as like an activist, is like speaking up about these things. And so we were able to have some really candid conversations at that time that I remember being like, wow, I'm really glad to be a part of this conversation and glad to see once theater came back after a period of time in COVID, that there were changes happening. And like, for example, for a show like this right now with Lost Boys, the amount of care and effort and thought and conversation that went into what my comfort was with my hair and the protection underneath the wig and the fact that the wig is like so comfortable and light and easy, and like the incredible team of people who built every one of those locks and dyed them and stitched them. I mean, it's like so beautiful to see the growth from that time when I started in 2018 to now, just because of the conversations that people are willing to have. So I think that it was just a really different period of time. And I think it took a lot of people, voices, a lot of brave people to speak up and talk about things. And I feel like so grateful to have been a part of that period. I think I moved to the city in 2020 and going to these protests and having these types of conversations, it was just like, it was electric in certain ways. And I think it really has changed things in a lot of ways. Obviously, we have a long way to go in so many aspects, but it was cool to see sort of that spark and to be a part of that time.
I find that we are in such an interesting time because actors have to be their own advocates now more than ever.
Yes.
Because there is such an overload of information from the outside world that affects the inside world.
Mm-hmm.
And being on stage 8 shows a week when the world is falling apart.
Yeah.
That's a lot to carry. Even if everything in your life was hunky-dory and there was nothing happening in the world, 8 shows a week is a lot.
Yeah.
It's a nightmare for a lot of people. A dream for most people, but I think actually doing it is a lot. How do you take care of yourself while also advocating for the things that you need to be able to perform at the highest caliber?
Man, it's something I still struggle with, and I'm still working toward being good at. You know, it's so hard in those moments to be like, hey, actually, I can't do this again. I can't run through this like another time. I'm going to mark this time. Or, you know, sometimes we feel like we need to prove ourselves even once we have the job, even once we've had the job for a while. You know, there's always these feelings that creep up. But especially in this process versus others, I've really tried to be like, yeah, you know what? I'm going to mark through it this time, or I'm going to take this morning and like go do something that I like. Like I'm going to get up slightly earlier and like go to the farmer's market or go do something that like really feeds me. Getting to spend time with friends, even if I am kind of tired, I'm like, I'm going to go do the thing, but also just getting rest. One of the big things, like sometimes it can feel selfish where you're like, I can't see you for like at least 2 months. I'm like, sorry, I love you so much and I'll see you after those 2 months, but I have to sleep every single day as much as I can. I think those are kind of the big ones for me, is like just really trying to get rest. And yeah, just not feeling guilty for it, because that just makes you feel bad. And then you're not actually resting. You're kind of just there taking time when you're sick. That's a big one that can be really hard. But like, that's why we have incredible understudies, incredible people who are there for us in those moments, and are also incredible artists themselves, and like are like perfectly capable of stepping in. Yeah, like when you're unwell, taking the time. There used to be this like almost glorified thing of like, I haven't slept, I haven't eaten today, I have like 2 different kinds of the flu, I'm on every steroid and I'm doing it anyway. And people were like, yes. And now I'm like, are you good? Like, are you like, don't do that, And so I think one of the big things is like actually taking care of oneself and like taking the time off if you need it, not needing to apologize for it. I'm trying to apologize way less. It's hard. I literally say sorry to like nothing. Like I'll apologize bumping into a mannequin and realize it's not even a person. You know what I mean?
Same thing. And I went,
I'm like, I need to figure that out. You know what I mean? It takes a lot. It's draining. And so just like protecting your peace, protecting your energy, are some of the things that I've been trying to do.
I think that is absolutely incredible and so necessary. Because also as performers, the dream is Broadway, right? And so when you get the dream, it can be scary to say, oh, I have to call out of this thing, or I'm not going to be able to stage door tonight. And you don't want to let anyone down. And you also don't want to let yourself down, knowing that it took everything for you to get to this dream. But you also have to protect yourself so that you can continue to do the dang thing, you know?
Exactly.
How has the process been with the Lost Boys? Because you did, like you came on initially and rehearsals began in February?
Yeah.
It's been a long and amazing several months.
It's been incredible. I wasn't a part of some of the original workshops, so the whole thing was very new to me. I think I got the part and I had heard maybe 4 songs from the whole show. I didn't even really know what happened in the show. So it was amazing to get all of that information. But it's just been like the ride of a lifetime. Every single person in this company, this crew, this creative team are at their top game, like excellence. And it's been so inspiring because we knew this was going to be a beast. We walked into that rehearsal room and like they had this sort of mock-up of the set, but then they were like, but just letting you know there's a whole other level to this and it goes underground too. And we were like, huh? Like it was hard to even picture what that could be. And then they're like, yes. And then people are flying and there's this and there's that. And there's like stuff going on everywhere. And again, it was like almost impossible to imagine. So we were calling it our spiritual rehearsal. It was like an imaginary experience rehearsal period until we actually could get on the set. And then it was like about 4 weeks of tech. But I just love these people. They are so kind and thoughtful and geniuses at what they do on every level. The set, it's like everything is real. Everything is like actual. The soda machines, all of these things. It's like you're literally looking at the thing. You can pull the pumps. Everything exists. There's literally like bird poop on top of the concession stand that if you're in the orchestra, you wouldn't see, but sitting in the mezzanine or balcony, you can see because of course that would be on a boardwalk. But it's stuff that like Dane Laffrey, like the details are so beyond, and it creates a world that almost feels like you're in a film set. It's like real every time. And so it makes our job so easy, like to just inhabit the world, you know? And Michael Arden is such an incredible director, human. The way that he would just start every rehearsal with a circle up and we could just talk.
Oh, I love that.
Just like sit and see one another, and people could be like, oh my gosh, like my fire alarm went off all night last night. And you're like, oh girl, I'm sorry. Or like this amazing thing just happened. Or I got to share 2 weeks into rehearsal that I got engaged in the circle up. And it was like, we all got to hug and take a moment for that. And just celebrate people's wins and when they were having hard times, like to be able to really see people. Cause sometimes you get like so busy in rehearsals that it's like, oh, I don't want to burden people with bringing that in. You know, it's like stay professional, whatever. But what I appreciated was it was like, I knew what everyone was sort of like coming in with every day. And we just got to like respect that process and like love on one another. And yeah, it's been amazing to see the lift that everybody has taken to make this thing.
And it is truly a behemoth of a thing. The world is such a dark, crazy, weird place. And seeing shows like The Lost Boys just brings me so much joy. The flying, the merry-go-round moments, you on the billboard. I'm like, what is happening? This is incredible.
It's really special. And you're right. It's like we're in this time right now that feels so frustrating and confusing. And like, I think I feel lost, not to necessarily pull a pun, but like, I feel lost a lot where I'm like, what can I literally do right now? Like I'm seeing these horrible things happening globally in our country. And I'm like, what steps can I physically take to make the change? And so I've been really trying to focus as small as possible because kind of looking at the massive picture can get just overwhelming.
Oh, absolutely.
And so like being involved in community, supporting community, sending that $20 that I was going to use on buying like a coffee that I didn't need to a friend who's like, I have a GoFundMe right now that I need something, like focusing on things like that. And also building a show that is like about the fear and like what fear can do to people, but then choosing love. Like I had said earlier, like choosing to love one another, to see one another, to understand even the more complicated characters like David, like Max in the show. They also want good. They just don't know how to go about it. And so they're making difficult and bad choices along the way, but it doesn't necessarily mean they're not people who we can look at and go like, I do know a person like that, or someone who is lost. And so I think that that's what's been so cool about this project in the midst of everything, to be able to focus on something that I think is giving people that a space to sort of like see one another and to build empathy.
Something I really love about The Lost Boys is that if you take a step back, like you were saying, you see so many bits of humanity in there. And you also realize that everyone is the way they are because of the people they've encountered. And so when you see people in the real world and also on the stage who feel cruel or angry, they aren't like that because of no reason. It's because of people. And so when I've seen The Lost Boys and walked out, I feel like there's a sense of joy and of like, oh, rising tides lift all ships and we all get better together.
Yeah.
And I think that is a beautiful thing. And I think everyone should go and see Lost Boys.
I think so too. It's kind of for everybody in that way. Yeah.
It's a beautiful, beautiful show. There's so much good in it. You are incredible in it. I am obsessed with you. It's so good. And your pig call.
Come on. Hey, I didn't think that would be happening to me so often that I would have to do this pig call, but that's my fault for keeping it on the resume.
But honestly, I love it and it's needed. That being said, before we head on out, I know that when you were a kid, you brought in a little karaoke machine into class for a special skill or to, a little talent show. You brought in your little karaoke machine and you sang I've Been Working on the Railroad.
I did.
Which honestly, it tracks.
A classic.
I
love a train.
A bop. If we shall say. Yeah, I also love a train.
Yeah.
So when you think about that version of yourself, looking now, having just had your opening night for this incredible show, what would you say to that version of you?
Oh, man. I suppose I would say that it is totally worked out that we're like absolute weirdos. Like it was a-okay the whole time. You didn't have to worry about it or try to be anything else. Yeah, like I think when I did that, I remember thinking like, wow, people actually like paid attention to me and I had something that I could be proud of and like stand up and do. And yeah, I just think I would just tell her it's all going to be fine. Just worry way less. I keep telling myself that. Worry way less. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
All right. Well, worry way less. That's what I needed today.
Yeah.
On that note, I think it's time for me to go and block giraffe weevil on every account known to man because that damaged me and I don't like it. But you are amazing. Thank you for being
so
here on
much
Had
for
to
having
Ask.
me. It was amazing.
You're incredible. Let me just hug you with
Thank
my
you. Yes, please.
not wearing shoes. Oh, my leg fell asleep.
You've been listening to Had to Ask, executive produced by Joseph Loper and me, Melanie Sutrathada. Filmed on location at the beautiful Thompson Central Park in New York City. If you loved this episode, make sure to follow, subscribe, and leave a rating. It helps the show grow and gets us one step closer to world domination.